come a long way, and I've been staying for India for about 1 week at this point. But it's been a wonderful experience everywhere I've went, and I hope that you all will find this talk, and especially this question and answer, very enlightening too. I just want to appeal to why math is useful, because some of you may find that it's getting a lot more dissociated or disassociated from real life or what you see as something that's actually useful. So why do people have to use math and science to become doctors and engineers and physicians and architects, etc.? So math and science has its use in almost every single field you could think of. For architects, math and science are not only useful through geometry and the Pythagorean theorem, but also in terms of physics. If you're an architect and you build bridges, for example, you need to know the stress and strain on every part of the bridge and what a car might exert. The role of math and science in almost every single field is very apparent. So, why do we see almost no connection between math and science and real life? Well, often it's not just because your teachers don't tell anything to you, but also we have a lack of word problems and a lack of creative thinking when it comes to solving these problems. Instead of any creative problems that take more than 2 or 3 steps to solve, or what can actually be applied to a real world situation, most often you're just asked to find the hypotenuse of a triangle or solve for x in the quadratic. And it feels very, it feels like there is no real connection. How does this relate to anything in real life? When will I ever have to solve a quadratic or use sine, cosine, and tan? Or when will I ever have to use the Pythagorean theorem? Well, if you look forward to actually getting a job in many of these fields, in not only STEM, but also fields beyond STEM, such as art, which requires actually a surprising amount of geometry. If you decide to go into any of these fields, you will realize that you need a lot more math than you originally thought. But the applications of math are so understated and so unoft, and it's not often demonstrated by schools. So I think that we should advocate for schools to start more labs so that you can actually see the use of math and physics, not just in, for example, collecting data. But also, if you want to be an artist, you need to learn the proportions of the human body, which require mathematics. If you want to be an engineer, you need to use mathematics not only in terms of geometry and architecture, but also you need to use math and physics in terms of stress and strain on trusses. If you're, say, a doctor or a pharmacist, teach chemistry and biology a lot, especially so you can understand how reactions in the human body works. So, in so many of these fields that you're encouraged to go into, math and science are very present, but you just aren't able to see the applications well enough because our schools don't teach them enough. So I would like to advocate not only to the students for you all to search out there for the actual applications of math so you can understand why it is useful and you can understand how to work with it better. But also, I advocate for the teachers and administration of the school to more often demonstrate why math is useful. Oh, and I just noticed there's a second aisle, so I'm going to walk down that as well. So once again, I think that you all have some great potential in learning math and science as well as using it in your everyday life as well as your job. There are so many possibilities out there for all of you, and uh, basically all of them use math and science in some way. So it's very important that you not only pay attention in class, but also study on your own time if you don't understand anything. So once again, it's been my pleasure to talk to you here at Asmal Modern Residential College, and now I'll be taking a few questions and answers. Hopefully, this speech has given you a little bit of insight on why math and science is so important and how you can see these applications for yourself. And now we'll get to the questions and answers. Thank you. Okay.